Case 39, a horror thriller starring Renee Zellweger. And Renee Zellweger is a social worker. Meg Ryan is a helicopter pilot. Keanu Reeves
I can imagine Renee
is an architect.
Zellweger is closer to a social worker than Meg Ryan was ever
Can
to
you?
a helicopter pilot.
Okay.
Don't you think?
No, but you're more
Carry on.
broad-minded
I
now.
haven't seen Case 39.
Okay, so she's a high-powered social worker. Basically, what she does is, she's a social worker, and she goes to a family and she sees that the parents are bonkers, and the parents have a young girl who's clearly in danger from the parents, and she goes to the authorities and go, "Oh, it's terrible. The parents are going to do something terrible to the young girl," but the authorities won't listen because there's the usual, phony, stuff in movies. Oh, we can't do anything because of this. Then the parents attempt to put the daughter in the oven, in what can only be a reference to a Grimm's fairy tale. In an action sequence, Renee and her friends break in and save the child, right, from the mad parents. And Renee then, despite saying, "It is impossible for me now to adopt you, since I'm somebody involved in the case which has freed you from the terrible people that were looking after you before," manages to adopt said child, at least temporarily, and then really bad stuff starts to happen. Here's a clip.
There's no laws against being weird,
I
Em.
didn't say weird. I said scary. That man sat there staring at me the whole time, and the mother is his emotional slave.
Wait, you didn't just fly to New York and meet with my parents, did you?
Wayne?
All right. Are there any cuts, any bruises, any signs she's being abused?
No, not physically. But this girl's in trouble. I can feel it.
You want to know what I can feel? The lawsuit we're going to get hit with if we violate her parents' rights without any evidence they've done something wrong.
All right, Wayne. You put these files on my desk and you asked me to tell you what's going on. I've told you. I've done my job. What you do with it is yours.
Now, as we walked out of this screening...
It was almost Danny Dyer there for a moment.
As we walked out of this screening, somebody said to me, "I will be offended if you don't use the phrase paedophobic tract in reviewing this," because, of course, that is the phrase that I have used before. And it is definitively paedophobic tract. Paedophobia as in fear of children, whole theme of horror for a very long time, fear of children. When you go back to the Others or Turn the Screw, or Exorcist, Omen, Rosemary's Baby, all that sort of stuff, films in which children scary. Okay, so what you have at the centre of this is the idea that child in danger from parents, child saved from parents, child taken from somebody, suddenly realise that actually maybe it's the child that's the danger. And this is a very, very well worked horror riff. And what you're seeing here is not something that's profoundly original. In fact, this must have been around for a while, because the guy who made it, Christian Albert, he's made another film since then, Pandora, that's been released since then, and all the press reports about it being made were like 2008, 2000. And the girl who's in it, the main girl, is the girl the girl who plays Lilith, is the girl out of Terry Gilliam's Tideland, and doesn't look substantially to have grown up since Tideland. So it's been on a shelf for a while, essentially. And one can kind of see why, because in a way it is straight to video fodder. I mean, it is functional nuts and bolts straight to video fodder, given a little bit of a boost by the fact that your central child player there is actually very good, and that Renee Zellweger is a huge big star. Although I'd struggled to see exactly what it was that Renee Zellweger saw in the project and thought, well, that's what I need to kind of broaden my palette. That said, did you see how I did that? That
Jimmy Savile moving
Jodelle Ferland, that's the girl's name, Jodelle Ferland, who was really, really great in Tideland, is clearly a very good actress. And and then Ian McShane, who just chews the scenery up. Ian McShane does the kind of the gruff partner stuff, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh well, let's do it anyway. It obviously makes no sense whatsoever, and it kind of cops out sort of towards the ending. But if you saw it at home of a Friday night as a straight-to-video title that Renee Zellweger happened to have made before she became Renee Zellweger, and let's not forget that Renee Zellweger began her career making...
Oh, Some Old Tosh.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4.
I know what I meant.
In which she co-starred with Matthew Mahogany. Hang on, I haven't finished. Oh. So it is rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, it is rubbish, and it's nothing like as much fun as Legion, and it's very old hat, and it's easy to see why it sat around the shelf for a long time. But there are moments in it when, because of that kid, because Jodelle Ferland is quite good at doing the Mommy, you need to do what I say now, or bad things will happen. She does that quite well.